Keith Laporte, aka Sir Lord Keys the Thorn. We're back with the One Man Team Talk Show. We have our guest today, Matt Feinstein. We're gonna say thanks to our ENC Auto Body, our sponsors for this show. And again, Matt, thanks for coming on. And telling us your story. Again, the One Man Team Talk Show is about anyone who didn't let anything or anybody get in their way of obtaining their goals. Again, and I had you on because, like I said, you presented me some good information, and to me, you're part of the one-man team. What you wake up every day to do, it isn't about you, and you wake up with the courage to do it. I thank you for the compliment, but I like to give that thanks back because I don't think if I came in there and saw that movie, I'd have a second option right now. And that's what it is. So thank you, and tell people what's going on.
We have more movies going on. If that's
if that's what it is, yeah.
Right? So we're showing Freedom Riders a week from Wednesday on the 22nd, June 22nd at 6:30 at Stone Soup, 4 King Street. Freedom Riders. It's about the civil rights movement, and we show these films and we discuss how people can actually make concrete changes in their lives, get involved in movements to fight for racial justice, to build co-ops. So it's a free event. People can come down 6:30 on Wednesday the 22nd at Stone Soup, 4 King Street. It's right around the corner from Maria's Kitchen, right off Main.
Yep, so on Motivational Mondays, here we go. I'm plugging you into something that motivated me going into 4 King Street and seeing this a movie about the workplace cooperative, I guess, reignited. So they and when do generally, what days and times, if someone has off, can they put a block out to come on down to 4 King Street to see these movies, because it's motivational, definitely.
Yeah, for the most part, we have events on Wednesday evenings. So we have something on the 22nd, and then the second Wednesday of July as well. We have another event. We'll be showing a little bit of our work and talking about how people can plug into Worcester Roots. But people can stop by anytime. There's always folks at Stone Soup, and there's a bike shop. There's
that's what I'm about to tell you.
Group.
Run the list down. Lab. Shout out the one-man team, and I know that's what you was talking about, having everybody in this room when we were talking about having you on. But Stone Soup is what you call a cooperative. So Matt is a part of, like he told you earlier, a bunch of different organizations that needed a space, they got a space. So go ahead and let everybody know what entails in Stone Soup, because it's a lot of things.
All right, starting in the basement, we have the Earn a Bike program, where people can just show up Saturdays between 11 and 2 and learn how to fix a bike, help around the shop a little, get your volunteer hours, and earn a free bike. They're really nice used bicycles that you can just earn for free there, or bring your bike down and fix it. There's lots of parts and tools, all ages. And there's also going to be a photography studio down there. There's a graphics shop down there doing silk screening, t-shirt printing. There's
the name of are they down there? What's the name of the graphic shop?
Chromeleon. It's a bunch of youth. They're just getting started. Chromeleon, like
Chromeleon.
Yeah, like the color.
Like a chameleon, but Chromeleon.
And then there's the EPICA, Ex-Prisoners and Prisoners Organizing for Community Advancement.
Yes.
They did a quarry reform movement. Now they're working on jobs, not jails. People that want to seal their quarry or get involved in criminal justice work. That's a good place to plug in. There's a library, free lending library with some rad books that you won't find at the Worcester Public Library. There's a community space on the first floor too, where people can just hold events, or there's always stuff going on there. Community kitchen, and there's a computer lab. And then upstairs we have the American Civil Liberties Union, ACLU, that works for civil liberties in Worcester. There's a homeless drop-in center called Stand Up for Kids. That's open Saturdays at 11, or Saturdays at noon, and Monday and Wednesday evenings at 5:30. And as I told you about Worcester Roots, we help people start their cooperative businesses if they have a business idea. We're there. And Future Focus, that helps people make videos, websites, graphic design, and a landscaping cooperative, and a whole bunch of groups that use the space on a regular basis. Spanish open mic called Tertulia Burgos, and lots of other stuff.
There you go, the one-man team. A list of all that stuff that goes down on 4 King Street. Just check it out if you have some time. If you're ever in Worcester, Mass, go down to 4 King Street and ask for Matt Feinstein. So go ahead, other than what is the Freedom Fighters coming up next Wednesday? Do you have a schedule out for,
Well, people can find a lot of those events on our website at worcesterroots.org, or we're on Facebook and stuff too. StoneSoupWorcester.org also has a bunch of the events. There's the calendar right up there. You can see what's happening. Or they can stop by 4 King Street, and it's easy to plug in. It's really key for us to have a building. After the fire, it was tough. We didn't think we didn't get enough from the insurance company to rebuild. We didn't think we were going to be able to rebuild that building, but some people were saying tear it down, tear down the building. It was too heavily smoke and fire damaged, but we came together as a community and talking about getting through, not letting things stop us.
Yeah, right.
That's really where that was the test of our endurance, was to make it 5 years, to get the unions on board, the youth builds, the people who want to do some training, hands-on training, and we were able to finally rebuild it.
You test every day. If you pass me film, I know that was a big test of what is pride, character. I know a lot of people were doing actually hands-on. I had a couple of friends that was like, yo, I'm going on the Stone Soup, I'm going to help them clean up, or I'm going to help them hammer some nails, and every time I went by there, it kept on getting better and better and better and better.
Yeah, a bunch of youth that live in the neighborhood got their first training there, and are now apprentices with the Carpenters Union and getting, $30 an hour and good benefits, and a bunch of people got weatherization training and de-leading training and lots of stuff like that. So we made the best out of it.
Yeah, you did. All right. So I guess for this last little bit of time I got you here, I wanted to open up the topic of discussion, which would be, like I said, the question I had to ask you is, what's up with people? What's up with the general public? In this movement of right now, the temperature of, let's say, politics. The general public. If the options we have left, one-man team stays neutral in the political arena, but when I mean by why people won't realize the power they have as just doing whatever they're doing. It's more of like again, I go back to being tricked, into just being happy to get a check and not taking, any real pride or passion into your work to where you feel like this is what I deserve. So what's going on? You know what I'm saying? I know you personally, you work with youth and you encourage them. So that's another aspect we didn't even get to talk about. But what are you seeing out there in this world? Your opinions on, the future.
Yeah, well, I think politics and power is really built from the bottom. So it's really about us coming together and getting organized as communities, as neighborhood organizations, and really building it up from there. There's been so much done to our communities to fragment us, to just get us into hourly wages, and hard to see past that. But I think people have had enough, saying this economy's not really working for us. Why should it be a struggle every month to make rent? And so people are coming together and thinking about how we can really organize and change stuff. There's a huge conference coming up in Buffalo, New York in a couple weeks. A lot of people from Worcester are heading out there. It's about building a new economy. What does that mean? How do we barter to have our basic needs met? How do we create these cooperatives? How do we find other creative ways, grow our own food, you know, so people are, and at the same time, make sure that there's racial justice, that there's gender justice, that and other forms of oppression are being worked out. So this conference is one place that people are coming together to make some big changes, especially in the economic realm, which is the arena that I'm most involved in.
Yeah, capitalist society. Well, yeah, people are fixed on that right now. Like, so.
I think we can do better. I think we can create, you know, beyond capitalism. We can do.
Yeah, I think that's what
it's really based on values.
Trump was hitting on as far as business, the business aspect. We haven't tapped into that. It's like we do business from top down, you know, but that top pretty much still controls, you know, how the economy is I guess thriving, you know, that idea of capitalism. So yeah. Interesting. We got another guy, Super Joe, in the house.
I just wanted to ask a question. What are you guys going to do about the moral issue that the people that have the affluency, or the people that have the money or the education and everything, seem to have the power of voice to say what is going to happen as things go forward? And it's always been like that. The aristocratic group is the group that says what's going on. The laborist group is the group that usually complains and really doesn't get a voice, but they go ahead and do all the work. Do you have a plan to bring that forward with your co-op and stuff like that?
Yeah, I believe it will take getting organized and showing that we actually do have a say, you know, as people that are not the big decision makers in politics or institutions. So it's about organizing that people power, and I think we're doing that. So I think, you know, I think some institutions are getting it, or some people in the big institutions are getting it, and there's a way to try to leverage that from like the big universities and hospitals that want to support local business, and we can say, hey, these co-ops are getting started, why don't you buy from these businesses? But it's going to take a lot of organizing, and there are projects that are trying to say, hey, okay, the city's criticizing Mosaic and other groups, but like, what about, do they have all their ducks in order? Like, you know, the Audit Back campaign, for example, is like, well, you know, there's some, you know, people that are looking at the city and big institutions to see if they're operating under just principles and doing what they're saying they're supposed to be doing too.
And do you have any kind of plan to battle the implicit bias that really goes on? I mean, it's universal around the world, that implicit bias, that behavioral kind of bias that you're born with, you know, and the way you were raised and the way your culture sees the world, so that it puts you at a higher level in the strata.
Yeah, that's some hard work, and I think we're trying to do some of that work in our organizations that I've been mentioning today. But it takes some serious commitment, and it's an ongoing process for me to deal with my white privilege, to deal with my male privilege, and so we do trainings. We train ourselves as much as we can. We've brought in a lot of people to do undoing racism trainings, dismantling racism trainings, gender justice trainings, feminism discussions. These video showings we're doing have some of that work built into it, but there's a lot more that's needed. I agree with you, Trooper. It's like the bias is such a deep-seated thing. We're socialized to have those biases in us, and we need to do a lot more to group it.
Yeah, it's good to hear that you guys really have it right there in the forefront of your agenda anyway. I mean, knowing that it's hard to deal with, not this is some kind of easy thing that we can throw a lot of words at and maybe have a protest and then eat a hamburger and everything goes away. You know, this is an ongoing process that takes a whole bunch of different types of walks of life to make this one issue go away. You know, I'm glad to hear that.
Yeah, it's deep. You know, I happen to be informed of some of the stuff they was doing as far as the audit back. And I know I liked the thing that they did for Mosaic, which was to show how the city shows its blatant biases to, you know, minority organizations, to the point where, there's no accountability for big businesses in the political arena. You know, there's no accountability, and it's just nuts. You know how we hear about it now on a bigger scale, the presidential race, that people are caring who's lobbying for who, like where you getting your money from, you know, and in a way where it's a capitalist society, like, does it matter where you really get your money from? If your mission is to help, you know, if your mission is to, let's say, work on implicit biases, work on you know, giving everybody a voice, like, I think it's what you do with it, not where it comes from. And I'm big on that yoke. So yeah, it's, that implicit bias thing is big though. People don't realize. People don't, you know, you don't think. You just go through life as how you think it's supposed to be.
Mm-hmm.
And what I see a lot is everybody wants a tremendous amount of respect without giving an inkling of respect to anybody. And it's like, how do you do that? You know, how do you say, listen, you better respect me, and don't say nothing that's going to disrespect me, because now, you know, I'm going to disrespect you. And we never get to a place where, oh, all right, I respect your opinion. It may not be in agreement with what I believe, but I respect it, and I hope you can respect mine. Where do we go from here? You know, and it's just, you see it across the board, from the justice system to the school system to, you know, every system that has been developed. It's like, why are we a part, just like you said, the economic system, why are we a part of the system if it's not benefiting us? If we can't come up with sound solutions for core problems. And that's the one thing that irks me the most is, you know, no one really thinks about dealing with the core problems. It's all, you know, let's deal with what is the low-hanging fruit now?
Got to get to those root causes, right? Like look at the institutional
What's the roots?
racism that's happening, the institutional sexism that is perpetuated. Why are so many, you know, city policies around resource distribution still, you know, supporting an apartheid system instead of like something that's really, you know, building the racial equity that they put on the forefront and try to say that they're doing by, you know, having a racial diversity officer or something. But, yeah.
You know, with that said, in your co-op that you have, your business and stuff like that, how much, and because the way that marketing has changed now to a customer kind of platform type of marketing, it's not that performance type of I build
Sales,
it and then
yeah.
you want it. No, it's like, well, these people want
They
it,
want
so
it.
I'm gonna build it, you know. And do you guys reach out to these bigger businesses that are around, these big insurance companies like Hanover and these big other things that are coming in from Japan and those? Do you guys have a way to reach and get into that so that they can hear the voice of the people? I'm not asking a lot.
Yeah, I was about to say, because I think Troop is ahead of you as far as, do you know what they're doing with the infrastructure of Worcester?
Well,
They're
not
trying to
just
bring
Worcester,
in outside, and, you know, when he's talking about the Japanese
Well,
business.
yeah, not just Worcester, but how the customer be the social issue in here, is the people that live in Worcester. We'll stay with Worcester. But their needs and their wants and what drives them to get up in the morning and what drives them to be a happy kind of society and stuff like that. With your cooperative, are you able to reach into and network with between, or be a conduit between them and these big companies that are now trying to get in here and form these new businesses that are going to be coming into Worcester to say?
Well, the mission of our co-op Future Focus Media that works with, we mostly work with nonprofit organizations, some large, some small,
okay.
or small businesses or grassroots groups to tell their story, right? To amplify those voices. It's less about trying to be a media company for the large multinational corporations. They have stuff in-house. They try to dominate the media platforms already. But the good thing about social media and decentralized media and where people are getting their information from is that we can break into that, and we are.
Yeah.
This radio project, everything, it has the potential of really getting, you know, grassroots people's voices out there, the businesses that have a social mission and that are really bringing local, you know, products that people need, services that are good for the community and that will benefit the community in the long run. We can get those stories out, you know?
Okay,
Yeah.
Yeah, because like I said, the marketing structure has changed. Branding isn't the branding by social media that they thought it was going to be. It is morphed into something altogether different. That the customer now is the generating engine for the way things are being branded. Before you brand your product and everything, and you brand it through all kinds of different higher end entertainment and stuff like that, and people would want to come and do this. But now that the customer has such a larger base, that to say in a larger voice to say, no, this is what I want. Can you give this to me? That's what I was trying to allude to with the way that your co-ops are working and stuff with the bigger, not the network so that the big industries are making money, the network so that the society itself is the one that's generating the amount of money that's being made.
Right, and it's more decentralized when it's a customer-based kind of,
Yeah.
you know, marketing and branding situation. And there's more potential for breaking in and you know, really having a story told in that arena. I think some institutions get it about supporting the, you know, local economy, and we need to take advantage of that as much as possible with their purchasing power. You know,
Yeah.
there's so many large nonprofits in this area that could be supporting the grassroots economic initiatives.
So you guys really haven't just got it all together in one arena yet, though.
Yeah, and I was just thinking about it. So you talking, I'm looking at Worcester just for an example. So you would need the health industry is UMass, the insurance industry is Hanover. What else? And that's pretty healthcare makes up a big majority of that. Then when you talk about education, Holy Cross, Clark, WPI, all big institutions that are doing prosperous.
And entertainment's coming in as a big
Yes, the arts and entertainment now
Yeah.
to, I guess, provide for all these already. So I guess I'm hearing what you're saying, but I guess the idea that's pinning into me is the general public who aren't necessarily a part of these organizations, who have business or just want to thrive. How can we get them connected where these big businesses are, where these people living are getting something back for their dollar? So I know in Clark, Chantel was telling me that if you lived in that area, that Clark area, for 5 years, your kids can go to school for free at Clark. And I see that as, that's something giving back. You know, that's saying, all right, you stayed and invested into this area, which is, I don't know how great of the area it is, but...
Yeah, and I think those institutions can do a lot more too.
Wait,
so, especially when they do big developments, and they should make sure that they're hiring local people and paying them fair wages, you know, and each project that a big developer, be it a university or an outside developer that they do in the city, there should be some serious community benefits attached to that, and the work that happens here should be really ethical, you know. So and with the Worcester Community Labor Coalition, we're trying to make that happen. You know, we just pushed for a new tax income and finance policy, and there's a lot more to be done in that area.
I like that. I definitely like that. That was good talk. Good talk. I gave you some fuel to think about. You know, at least on a local aspect of things is, I think the perception would be, all right, so we go ahead and we ask UMass for some money, or we go ahead and we ask, Hanover for, let's say, some subcontracting work, and they look at the regular businessman, small businessman, like, no, that's okay, we got that, we have other people to refer that to, when in actuality, you should be looking within the community to refer that business to.
Right, and we don't want just pennies, charity from these institutions. We want like serious projects that build up the economic, possibility of people who've been left out of their house.
Yeah,
That's good.
We
to
want
hear.
real power.
not just erected buildings that look good and no one's living
Yeah,
there.
you need to have a seat at the table and not at the far end of the table, so you have to strain it here. You need a seat right up front. You need to be at least in the first three seats from the main speaker.
Right,
That's
you're right. You need to be the first seat from the speaker.
if you could. But,
And I don't think
at least the third.
and that's what it is.
We'll try to set the tables, make sure they're round tables.
Yeah,
with no one there.
exactly.
Right now, I don't think anybody wants to hear. Not anybody. I don't think the power wants solutions that are going to actually fix anything. It scares people. I'm just saying, fear. There's a number one motivating factor in people's lives is fear. I pray to God that He takes it out of my heart every morning. But people are scared. At least the people you feel me who perceivably, think that they make decisions for people, who don't benefit from them. They're like, oh no, if I go ahead and raise taxes on the rich and oh man, no, God forbid that. Like, God forbid that works and fix the economy. No, we can't have that. We got to keep our foot on their necks and keep on making money. And I think that's the sentiment. And we need to change that. And Matt, thank you for coming on. I definitely, I'm an advocate of Stone Soup and What's the Roots and whatever you're doing, to make this world a better place. That's what the one-man team's about. And I thank you. I'm going to give you
Thanks for having me on.
give you applause for coming on. Where's the applause at?
I second that. Your organization's doing I hear they're doing quite a good out here in the community and stuff.
So we're going to give Matt Feinstein, What's the Roots, Stone Soup, 4 King Street, a round of applause. Yes.
No, we can't hear it.
Yeah, we can't hear that. But I don't know if the listeners is hearing it. Yes. Yeah.
How I know?
I said, how I
How my eyebrow? You alright? I got good eyebrow? Good job. How my head?
Bro,
Oh, good. Think I should put my cross out front or just leave it inside? It's wooden, Chris.
Oh, wait, no, take it out.
Yeah, I'm old. I got an old wooden cross with a piece of old string on it and stuff.
Take it out.
I'm
we're on in 1 second. Let's go.
Take it out. We're talking about the Muslims.
What's going on? It's your man Keith Laporte again with the One Man Talk Show, aka Sir Lord Keys the Dog, the most interesting man on the face of this earth. Our show today is sponsored to you by ENC Auto Body. If you're in a car accident, you need professional collision services, call ENC Auto Body at 508-799-0014 or 774-329-7334 and ask for Eddie in Carlton. They can help you with anything. The deductibles, they work with all insurance companies. Anything that has to do with that car, they have an answer. We're back. So Motivational Mondays was, first half was great, talking to Matt, and a lot of stuff that motivated me. I think I'll give, people, my listeners, a stage to go grab some motivation. I'd like to, at this time, give a moment of silence, though, you know what I mean, respecting to my LGBTQ community out there in Orlando. So I guess we give like a 10-second moment of silence. Now we're back. Oh man, got Troop here in the room with me. Will Troop in the room with me. What happened in Orlando was definitely horrible. And the craziest thing I heard was at the rally, Pride Rally Monday, somebody getting up and begging people to let's try to figure something out. Let's try to understand these differences and not be scared of them. And that was big. I'm like, let's try to understand these differences and not be scared of them. So yeah, we had I was about to say, truth to it, you have some information about that whole story? Or are you going to be talking about it on your show?
Yeah, we definitely going to be, the whole show is going to be conversation pieces, clips from some of the victims' family members, the story of Omar, I forgot his last name, on
Oh, the shooter?
yeah, the shooter. What led him up to this, the things that happened in his life up to this event, what some of his friends thought about him. Some of his friends never even knew that he was that type of person.
Oh,
They
his
said
wife
he'd never
did,
been in
though.
a fight.
His ex-wife.
Yep, his ex-wife, yep.
She came out and said, I could expect him to do this. You know, but we're gonna put a different spin on it on the One Man Team Talk Show today.
Okay.
Troop, you're welcome to throw in your opinion. You too will. But I just want to put in, like I said, the theme is anybody, or I'm gonna start to say any collection of people who didn't let anyone or anything stand in their way. And I look at this community, the let me get this right. Well, LGBTQT community. Huh? TQ. LGBTQ community. You know, and I look at them as, you know, I think I had a friend post something. They're going through the same. I don't think it's the same, but it is the same plight as let's say the black people, black men. You know, not saying plight, but it's like this perception that, you know, that they're different. They're different, and they're not different in an inviting way. But they still continue to keep going. They still march. Like I said, what was it? Even after the shooting, Sunday morning, you see how many? And now I don't even want to go into the negativity, because there was a lot of negativity at the blood drives, and I'm like, yo, what? You won't allow people to give blood if they are a part of that community? That's what I heard. You know, so. But they still got up and marched from that Sunday at the same place. They were out there, and you know what I mean. And that's big. So that's like, yo, the question: if they had a forum for troop, you know what I mean, for let's say the Buffalo Soldiers, and someone shoots it up. The next time they do something that's concerning the Buffalo Soldiers, you're gonna be hesitant to go, or you're gonna go with your eyes and ears wide open, ready to react to that event. So that's what I'm saying. This happened Sunday morning, and even some of the people who were in the club came right back out that same day to protest and to show that. Let me get what is it again? I gotta get the acronyms right.
LGBTQ.
Yep. So Troop is right. LGBTQ community. The LGBTQ community has grown a bigger voice since this massacre of this man who I guess was homophobic or felt that. I don't even know what he felt. I'm not even gonna try to go into his brain, but I like to get your opinions on what's going on. But I shout out the Pride Weekend. I shout out the LGBTQ community for keep standing and keep going. You know, this is like a revolution about to happen right in front of our faces. And you know, I'd rather fight with someone who, you know, we have something in common than we don't. So what do you think about it, Will and Truth, about this horrible act that happened Sunday morning, and you know, just the temperature of people now that this didn't happen?
I think it's terrible. I think this is one of the most awful things I've ever heard. 49
people dead.
Killed just like that, and it's messy. You know, I don't know, I don't want to, well, maybe I do want to bring this image to some of the people out there and everything. It ain't the image you see on TV.
No.
It ain't the image that you see in the operating rooms. It ain't the image that you see in the hospital. None of that stuff. It ain't even the image that you see in the car crash. 49 people, bloody, beat up, everything like that there, screaming, and it's just a horrible type of situation. It smells terrible. The whole thing is terrible like that. So I'm saying that for the first responders and the police who had to go in there, witness such carnage and stuff. And somebody who can actually do these type of things like that, that's a very, very sick mind. You know, that person has serious problems and stuff to be able to bring so much carnage and put it into one spot like that. And he was going in there, obviously, to bring about that much carnage and stuff. Yeah. Now that the lesbian gay community and stuff, I have to applaud that this is Gay Pride Month and everything, and they're gonna make their things keep going. And they should allow all their programs to keep going. Would I think that they're gonna hit the gay community again? I don't think so. I think that, that's a soft target. That place was a soft target. Obviously, he scoped that out. He lived 2 hours away from it. So, he planned to attack that soft target. But one thing that I'm not sure on, but that it kind of makes me think of the way the mind works. He had 3 guns. He took 2 of them in there with him. He was a security guard at some place like that and was licensed with that security agency to carry a gun. And there was a 3rd gun in his vehicle. I'm wondering, was that the gun that he was licensed to carry at his job? That he didn't want to, well, that's my job, so I better leave that gun there.
I don't know.
I'll go buy 2 more guns and use those for doing this horrible deed that I'm about to do, because that just speaks to, for me, if that's the case, this is just how sad that man's mind was, the state of mind that he was in. I'm not trying to give him any kind of thing like that. I just saying that boy needed some help from when he was a little kid and stuff. He sounded like he had a lot of confusion going on. I know in his culture and stuff, homosexuals aren't tolerated. Not only are they not tolerated, the way they treat the women is totally different from the way the women are treated over in this country. There's so many different type of things that happen that it's amazing. A lot more of this stuff don't happen, to tell you the truth. Not just with a Muslim community, but with any kind of community that has different kind of cultural norms and stuff, and they've been downtrodden by somebody or find a soft target to try to take their frustrations out on. Because this country's just, it's out of control. This type of stuff doesn't need to go on in this country. There is no reason for any of this to take place in America.
And that was the only thing I'm thinking while I'm looking at this. He's born here in America, went to school here in America, had kids, a wife. He's living.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So in his mind, he's like, all right, this is all a front. Because what I want to do is, this is what I want to do, and I can't let anybody know, so I have to play along. But I don't
know if that's the case. I don't know if that's the case.
Like he took full advantage of being an American and having the civil liberties of being an American.
Well, he was born here.
Yes.
So
what could America or let's just say the LGBTQ community done to him?
LGBTQ community probably did nothing to him. This very well could have, but we don't know because we can't ask him. But this could have, what I believe happened is he was born here, but his parents are Muslim. They were not born here. So what he did is what any normal person would do, is you would expect them to look at their culture, where they really came from, what they practice. And they are against homosexuality, so that's a caveat. He learns, and then when you see, so everybody wants to be everybody thinks they're the good guy, and the other people think that they're the bad. Nobody thinks that they're the bad guy. So he's looking at over there in his country, and he sees videos of you talking about the scene of the 50 people. How do you think you know how it looks when America drops a bomb on a hospital where 50 people ironically died, and there was and America didn't say so much as sorry. They dropped it on the wrong place.
China.
Yeah, no. This was in Iran. Yep. Oh, no, this was in Iran. Yep. It was on a hospital. The hospital had
recently.
Yeah, the hospital had no terrorists there. They thought terrorists might have been there, but there were no terrorists there. Dropped the bomb, killed 50 people in a hospital of all places. No, not so much as a sorry. You are from there, even though you were born in America. You know that's your people. You can go online and find videos of the aftermath. It's hard, but you can find aftermaths of bombings and stuff that U.S. is doing over there. Over there, they look at us as the bad guys and us as the terrorists. So then, it's hard to say, oh, how can someone come here and kill these 50 innocent people when the U.S. on a daily basis is dropping bombs over there and nobody says anything. Nobody cares. We just go on with our days.
That's different.
No, it's not different at all.
I
Not.
feel that's different myself personally. This guy, like I said, he has some serious problems from way back when. I don't know what it is. Somehow that people getting radicalized to this movement. I don't know how these people can really have that much power to influence somebody, but it seems to be that they do. He's an American citizen. He was born here. He was raised in New York. You know, he lived in Florida. He had 2 cars, and he's already had one wife, then another wife, and you know,
Irrelevant.
it ain't about irrelevancy. He had no real connection to what it was like to live over in that other country. He never felt the hunger and stuff. I can understand some people who live in these other countries where the politics is so bad. If you don't adhere to what I say, I'm going to take you out and chop your head off, simply because you didn't do what I told you to do, or
Going against the grain, yeah.
yeah, you know, you bowed down and worshipped a different God, so you got to die. He had never seen that. He's seen that the same way I've seen it, or you've seen it, or anybody else seen it on television.
It's much different when you see your people that look like you, people that behave like... The same way you're saying you don't get it is the same way white people say they don't get it when a black person gets killed by a police officer. Same exact thing.
He looks just like a whole lot of other different races.
What's that? There's no point to that. Just because he looks Spanish, that doesn't mean that the people that he see get bombed doesn't affect him. See, this is everything. This is looking at everything from America's perspective.
Exactly,
And as an American, we think we're the good guys.
No.
But we have blood on our hands and the stuff we do there. I'm not justifying anything he's saying. What I'm saying is there's a war going on, and there's nothing sacred in war. That's all I'm saying.
That's not what I was alluding to. He's an American. I don't care how he paid his ethnicity from where he came over to this country. Fine, I consider everybody who ain't my cousin on the Indian, y'all foreigners to me. You know, so that's what I'm saying. He's an American just like everybody else is American. He's born, raised here, went to school here, you know, did all the little probably American things, ate the Cheerios and drank Kool-Aid, you know, I don't know. He could have, but
We
he's
live in a
American.
society where we can't tell a woman's a woman or a man's a man. How can we tell How can we tell him just because he's born here he's an American?
I'm not even going to go there. This is semantics. Yeah.
It is, but it is, and I definitely agree he was crazy.
He's American.
I agree.
You don't
No,
think he's an American?
no. I think a lot of people just because you were born here don't make you an American.
So
Just
what
'cause
makes you an American?
What makes you an American is if you accept society, if you accept where you are, accept where you were born, and live here. A lot of people, like the people that are saying, "Oh, I'm going to leave if Donald Trump becomes president." Does that make them? Are they still Americans?
He was
Yeah,
a
I'm lost.
homophobic. He had some homophobic type of
Yeah.
more than anything else.
Uh-huh.
He got mad because two men kissed in front of his 3-year-old son or daughter,
Mhm.
whatever, his 3-year-old child, and that seemed to be what that twisted his mind around. And he wanted to take action against these people. It looked like he targeted that whole community.
I don't believe that either.
I don't know.
It's what the media is telling us, but there's more to it than that. There's no way I
So
can.
you're saying you can't be an American and not agree with American views?
I'm saying you can't tell anybody that they're an American if they don't want to be, one. You could, just because you're born, like there's, some people claim Barack Obama was born in Africa, that he wasn't even born in this country. But he's still an American. Where you're born does not make the person that you are. That's what I'm saying, in their own
I
mind.
think to each his own. That's your perception of
Exactly.
an American.
That's my point, to each his
But
own.
I would say if you're born in America, you live in America,
Me too.
you work in America, pay taxes, you have kids
Me
in
too.
America, you live
Absolutely.
as an American, whether you want to or not.
Watch TV.
Yeah, absolutely.
You get that,
You're
Absolutely.
an American.
Right.
Whether in your heart you're saying, listen, forget America, that'd be the dumbest thing ever, because look where you at. You know what I mean? That's like saying, forget Massive Pill Radio, and you're on Mass Appeal Radio.
Look
That
where-
doesn't, it's like contradicting yourself.
No, it's not.
Because I'm in America, but it's like I don't want to go get out of America.
Have you seen how Muslims are treated in this country?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, so it's
But-
not. Look at what you have. You're hated by everybody around you. The next potential president is saying he doesn't want your kind coming into the country at all. Wants to build a wall. I mean, to say like, listen, it's so great in America. That's
I'm not saying it's
amazing.
great in America. I'm just saying to each his own on what you think an American is. But I'm just saying if you're in America, you're an American. You know, if you're born, I'm saying if you're born here, raised here, you know, live here, that's
I know
what it
one
is.
thing, I travel the world a lot. You take yourself to another country,
Mhm.
they're gonna look at you like you're an American. They don't call you
Yeah,
American.
exactly.
Right.
He goes back to the Middle East. He's still an American. He's a gringo.
Yeah, he's American.
You
You
know,
go to Haiti.
ISIS
they call-
already accepted him.
You go to
Still.
Haiti, they call you a Blanco. They don't care what you're called.
Yeah.
You're an American, they call you a Blanco. You go to Germany, they oh, that's American, you wanna buy this?
Mhm.
You go,
You wanna buy this?
You go wherever you want to go. They stand. I was at a meeting in Canada. This is the Bethune meeting. This is the meeting for global type of health thing and stuff like that. And I got pretty bored in the meeting because they was talking all kind of global health from all different countries. So I decided to play with myself, with my mind and stuff. So I was going to see if I could pick out the Americans. Boy, was it easy. I got my feelings hurt later on at a lunch break when someone picked me out as an American, but it was so easy to pick out who were the Americans and who wasn't the American, and then come to find out it was just that easy for those people to pick me out as
Being American too.
So if you're born in this country, you take on a certain.
I was about to say, no matter where you go outside of this country, you know that though, right?
Yeah, you take on a
You can go to
certain-
Africa where you have a bunch of wills that look just like you, and believe me, no, you're not gonna fit in. They're like, oh, he's American,
Yeah.
Yankee. You understand that though, right? Like
Yeah.
Americans across the board,
Yeah,
outside of
you're
America.
perceived. Yeah, you're perceived a certain way when you go to another
How you
country.
talk, how
That
you
does
act
not make it
is-
true.
What do you mean
That does not make it true.
What don't make it true?
That does not make, just because you're perceived a certain way when you go to another country doesn't mean it's true. There's some people here. There's that guy. He's Muslim. He's part of he's Islamic faith. He doesn't look like him. He doesn't look like your average Muslim. I bet his wife, she doesn't wear the thing over her head and the whole thing because she was all over the news, Americanized. Just
They're Americans.
Yeah.
right, but they're still Muslim. They don't. There's just
So what's
because.
wrong? That's what I'm saying. So what are you saying? Americans can't be Muslim then?
Or Americans can't be Christians? Or
Yeah,
Americans
like, that's
can't
what
be-
you understand
yeah.
what I'm saying. though?
what I'm-
Americans can't be
So,
Muslims?
Yes,
I think
yes,
you go into
yes.
this
What I'm saying is Americans can be whatever they want, even non-Americans. People denounce you could denounce your own country and say you are not American anytime. People do it all the time.
The Muslim religion isn't a country.
Nah.
No, it's not. But but if America
You
is
make-
so
yeah.
anti-Muslim that you can say, okay, I'm not American because America stands against Muslims.
Yeah, but Americans stand against Mormons.
Yeah.
Not the way they do Muslims.
And now you got degrees.
Americans.
Yeah.
They used to be all over Mormons till Muslims came, I guess. Right?
Americans stand
What about the
against.
400 Baptists? The Methodists?
Yeah. All other ones.
You can't.
Yeah.
It's basically what they identify with.
Yeah, obviously his faith is Islamic. His catalyst that made him go up and do this appears to be the homosexual act that he witnessed that he thought was really not keeping, it was going to really change his kid's attitude and everything, so he had to do something about it.
Yo, and that's the craziest thing I thought. That at the end of the day, he's not here anymore. He did this act against the LGBTQ community. Now, what happened, and they're just what ifs, I love to play with this, what if his kids, turn out to be a part of that community? You understand? So his point was, you feel me, infuriated, which I think is infuriated by just the community. And I don't think it had anything to do with a covert mission from ISIS to kill, you know what I mean? Or to outlast against the LGBTQ community. No. You know what I mean? Like, this was an act that he did and tried to affiliate it with something that had nothing to do with it. And of course, ISIS is going to take it because, you know, I think America would have put the blame on them in the worst way anyway. You
Right.
understand? So that's what I think is
and that's
propaganda.
why I say
is
don't be so quick to believe everything the media says about this situation.
Yeah, because I don't think it has
he
anything
saw,
to do with
it's-
ISIS or
That's
Muslim.
really convenient. He
It could've
saw
just
a
been
gay
him.
couple for the first. What he's lived here his whole country. He lived in this country his whole life, and that's the first time he saw a gay couple, and that
They
really.
were kissing in front of him and his kid.
He's from New York.
Yeah, but that's what set him off. It seems like, and I could be wrong, but that's what the catalyst was that set him off. They were kissing in front of him and his kid, two guys. He didn't like it. Obviously, his brain was being fried long before that.
Yeah.
Right.
You know,
I
but that
just-
seemed
Well, for him to be brought in twice.
yeah,
For the government to bring him in twice. The first time he did some on social media pledging an allegiance to I don't know what it was,
Uh-huh.
and then the second time was with a friend that he said something crazy to a friend and it ended up getting out. So they questioned him twice.
Yeah, the FBI. Yeah,
So
he had been questioned 2 or 3 times.
yeah, prior to all this happening, so he was gone. His mind was gone.
Yeah, that just shows you how dumb people in the FBI are.
That don't make him not American.
Yeah.
No, I didn't say that didn't make him not American.
Nothing makes him not,
Not
American.
American. That's what I'm trying to tell
If
you.
he
American
denounces
is
this country, that makes you
denounce-
un-American.
He didn't
He didn't denounce
denounce
America. He didn't denounce anything. You understand? He just talked about his faith, and I think we need
And
to
then-
get back to that. America is a melting pot of everything. And
What when he did
and
you
then-
see,
and then
he
he-
called somebody.
He called the police.
Yeah, what did he say to them when he was on the?
He pledged allegiance to
That's what
ISIS.
that's
Okay.
what I don't
That's
hear.
what
Because if you
he
call the
said.
police,
That sounds very un-American to me.
But you want to hear the
That part-
conversation.
That part sounds crazy to me. He
Yes.
wanted to get attention.
That's you understand what I'm saying? I'm in here shooting. I'm gonna call the police and say, "Listen, I'm gonna pledge my allegiance to ISIS."
Right.
Like none
That
of that
sounds-
stuff even adds
That
up.
doesn't
It
sound
sounds-
un-American?
No, it sounds like the
No.
news trying to put a picture so you could perceive it a certain way. You understand?
No.
Because if he called the police, we should hear that conversation. That conversation,
Yeah, we're
going to hear
read
that.
all
Yeah, well,
You understand what I'm saying?
We don't
This
have
is-
it yet, but we will.
This is not going to, because all it is word of mouth that this is what he said, this is what he was doing. The dude, they gave testimony, the guy was playing dead for 3 minutes, and he didn't say anything. He said he was talking about other people being in the place with him, with bombs strapped to them, and a sniper being outside.
Mhm.
But it was nothing about, I'm killing these people for ISIS. Or, I don't like America, and you know what I mean? I even heard them say something about he screamed out, "Stop bombing ISIS." Like, how do you? Why am I screaming
If he
out?
said that, that speaks to my point.
What?
If he said stop bombing ISIS, that speaks to my point. Like everybody thinks of themselves as a good guy. He probably thought what he was doing was good because he's probably seen online, which is easily accessible, all the stuff that Americans and other countries are doing, bombing people over there. We bomb people over there every day and kill innocent people every day. Do you think the bomb just specifically hits this one gang? No. Anybody who's surrounded by them, all the people they have captive, they all get killed.
Yeah, but that goes without saying. But that's not really the issue. The issue.
Oh, of course it's not the
Yeah.
issue. We're not the ones getting bombed and killed. So that's not,
But no, that's what you're trying to make it about. The issue has nothing to do with being bombed. You understand that though, right?
you just
I'm just
said.
saying that. I'm just saying all that is what someone's saying. I don't hear any videotape of this guy screaming all these obscenities.
Right, so we
You
only
hear
got
that?
to go with
So,
what
but-
the
but
media's saying.
No, I'm not going off of what someone's telling me. I'm going off of the fact. This man went in there and killed 49 people, injured
Right.
a whole bunch. You get that? So I'm looking at his intent is strictly to the LGBTQ community.
Yeah,
Whether we want to pledge his alliance and say I'm not American, I'm with ISIS, whatever. No, it was him versus them. You get that?
He targeted that power.
That's it. It had nothing to do with, like I
That
understand.
one
So
place.
to bring his religion into it and ISIS, no, it had nothing to do with it. Nothing to do with it.
I don't know if it had something to do with it. It
The
doesn't
culture,
make him
yeah,
not
it doesn't make
American.
him not American either. And that's the culture.
Mhm.
You understand?
And
What's the culture of Americans to?
No, Muslims.
Oh.
Of Islam, the Islamic faith.
Okay.
Yeah.
Muslims, that's the culture. Having 5 wives, they
Not in
have
this
to
country.
Well, see, now you're not.
That's why I say he's not in this
Exactly.
country. That's
But,
making
exactly.
my point. He's not American. He's not American. He's not.
That's what.
Even American Muslims stand up. Even he's an Islamic terrorist. Other Muslims have stood up and spoken out against it, saying we Muslims are not like that. Muslims in America, there's a difference.
Yeah.
But that don't make
That
him
don't
not
mean
an
him not
American.
American. You know that, right? You know that.
No,
That country, he was still an American. He's what seemed to come out as an American terrorist. And he was bent on doing something against the gay community. You
Yep.
know, and that seemed to be the picture to me. Then the saddest picture to me is that he was able to do it.
Right.
You know, there was plenty of red flags from his parents. Must have heard him talking about it. They said his workplace person said that the guy was angry all the time and stuff. All the FBI and all that.
FBI's fault.
You know,
Even more than the parents.
I'm not placing fault. I'm just saying red flags.
Oh, you should place fault on the FBI.
I'm not placing. I can't place fault on anybody because, like I said, any one of them people, any one of those three that I just named, at any point in time could have stopped this guy. He could have got
long
something
time
help.
ago.
A
Yeah.
long time ago.
You understand? So the first time we bring him in, all right, man, we know what's going on. Yo, you living in America. You here in America, bruh. Listen, this is how we see this folding out. And we're not going to allow it to fold out like this. You
I
get
don't,
that?
I don't think we're in the same world right now.
As what?
Certain world.
I don't think I don't think we're in the same planet.
No,
right
but
now.
you're trying to say he's not an American.
You just said you can't blame the FBI, and then you said the FBI should have did something about it.
You try to mince and play with little words.
No, that's not the FBI. If they knew he was on a terrorist list,
Whoa,
he
wait,
shouldn't have
wait,
been
wait,
allowed to
wait,
have guns,
wait,
right?
Wait, your original statement, well, you should blame the FBI more than their
The parents, absolutely.
Finish your statement.
Absolutely.
Said no. Finish
Right.
your statement.
You should blame the FBI more
Than your parents.
More than his parents. Yeah, he's an adult.
Yeah, that's what you said.
For
I
what?
said
They
no.
should blame him for what? For what he did?
Yeah.
You should blame
Yeah.
the FBI for what he did.
Yeah, absolutely.
More than his parents?
Absolutely. Absolutely.
I think everybody that was privy to his insanity growing, and maybe at some point in time could have done something. Maybe they could.
And I'm not saying yes.
No
If you got
better who to blame and everything like that. I don't know. I'm not that smart to know about those things.
Yeah, and I wouldn't even go that deep into it, but I can understand if I'm in a household that practices Islam, a lot of our topics and conversations are going to be, you know, the same. And,
Okay.
and I'm not saying he's going home to his mom and dad talking about, yeah, this is what I'm gonna do. No, but he's probably telling his plights like, I'm an American. Why is America doing this?
How old was he?
What do you mean, how old was he?
9 or something.
29.
29.
Yeah.
So he was an adult. So the parents don't have no.
No, he's an adult. Yeah, but he's been there for 29 years.
Yeah, and his parents, he went to a Muslim, what do they call it, temple?
Yeah, no,
Whatever, but his Imam could have, I
Mosque.
don't know, could have talked to him from his mosque and stuff. I
Imam,
don't know,
yeah.
don't know any of that stuff.
Right.
Man.
I just know that for me, I feel as though this guy, for a pretty long time, has been slowly,
Mhm.
not in a rapid descent, going crazy.
Right. I agree.
Um,
And the stuff that the FBI knew about him should have been a red flag.
It should have was a red flag.
So that's why it's their fault.
Well, it should have been his parents knowing about what he said should have been a red flag. The work guy he worked with who said that he was always talking violent and all this stuff. That wasn't a job packing grocery bags and the thing. These are armed security
Mhm.
guys. And this guy talks all kind of craziness and stuff like
Mhm.
that. Should have been a red flag.
Right.
The Imam had known something about it and should have been a red flag.
Yep.
Usually,
Agree.
Usually,
Should've been a red
at the
Agree.
line, and I'm not saying
Absolutely.
usually. Yeah, all that stuff was
A
red
bunch of
flags.
people out there.
Absolutely. I
were
agree.
Privy to this guy's slow descent into madness.
I agree.
And-
But it's the
and,
FBI's. What's the FBI's job to do? The Federal Bureau of Investigation.
They investigated
right.
3
So
times.
right. And they should have said, okay, we are investigating him more than once. He shouldn't have access to weapons. That's
Should
common
not-
sense.
Yeah, he should not have had access to weapons, and that's one of the things I think that's really going to be played out because it's a presidential thing.
Mhm.
Second Amendment. I think that this is going to be a huge issue for gun control and stuff like that.
And
It already is.
And that's
I think a bigger
it
issue
blows
than what it is.
it blows my mind because you have the secretary, you have everybody in the feds talking about how he was able to get weapons, and I'm thinking in the back of my mind, all right, y'all gotta be kidding me. The NRA wants everybody in the world to have weapons. What are you saying? So, America is to have weapons, Will.
Yeah.
You know that, right?
So here's the crazy thing, right? Everybody, two people can look at the same exact problem and have vastly different opinions on what should be done. One side says if everybody there in the club had a gun, they would have been able to defend themselves. This side said if nobody has a gun, he'd have no access to guns to shoot anybody. And here we are.
Well, I don't know about the
Yeah.
problem, but all those red flags and stuff, he should have never been an armed security guy.
Right?
Shouldn't have
There are
been.
many big, you went and bought the guns last week. You know?
And that's it. And it goes back to the sentiment I said when I started off talking about this topic, when the person stood up and said, when are we going to start to understand each other's differences? Because at the end of the day, he was armed. We have, I think, an American, a American who practices Islam, so a Muslim American who America is trying to treat as one of their own, but he is manipulating that relationship to cause harm and terror and carnage. So my thing is we can't make a wall big enough to stop people from coming to America. You understand that? So this is a melting pot of all cultures.
Yeah.
When are we going to start understanding the differences? When are we going to start embracing and respecting something other than our own platform that we stand on?
We can go on that platform. We stand on our own personal likes
Right?
and pleasures.
What I like and what I don't like.
Yeah, well, we got so much choices for pleasures and likes in here, and we make that more important than we make anything else. You know, whether Pepsi Cola has a diet
Or a
with
cherry coke,
cola.
rather than, finding out if someone next to you needs a drink or is thirsty.
Oh, yeah.
It's like, it's reverse, I get it, yeah.
Yeah.
I want that cherry coke. I'm dying to get that cherry
Cherry
coke. And on
Coke,
that way to that cherry coke, I'm seeing like
Yeah.
10 people foaming at the mouth. And I just want my cherry
They
coke.
can get some water.
They get some water somewhere.
But don't go to Flint, Michigan to
Yo.
get your water. We'll
Nah.
go down. But I mean, this is what we think about our own pleasures in here. When we definitely don't research our newsworthy stuff that needs to be addressed and changed. This is a problem.
Big
It's a
problem.
big problem that people in this country actually, I don't know if they're so distraught or they're so crazy or whatever it is. This isn't the first barbecue.
No.
Mhm.
You know?
And that's the crazy thing. I said this a while back on Voice of the Voiceless, and I don't think it's going to be the last barbecue.
I don't either.
That's what happens though when you have a capitalist society. Is at the end of the day, the ones who felt less, less privileged, as people love to use the word privilege, less privileged or held down and suppressed, have to fight back. Fight back who though? And it's like I don't understand the fighting back. I don't understand the good versus evil. I see it in the criminal justice system.
That's
I don't
the
I don't understand it. Why don't we just solve the problem? Why don't we get, what is it, the old and living, why can't we all just get along? You know what I mean? And think about it though.
I ain't even for everybody just getting along. It's like you have to get along.
Yo, you don't, but you can respect that person who
Respect.
don't and keep it moving. And we can.
I got a program, Archangel. I'm all about returning to chivalry, and that's what it's all about. If you show the respect to somebody and you show the decency in somebody that you want for yourself, and everybody's doing that same thing, these things won't happen. These things won't happen. There's no way they can happen because you're not going to do it to yourself. So why would you do
Do
it to someone else?
Because you want to keep what you have, even at the expense of other people not having
That's
it.
what I said.
Yeah.
You said if people treated each other with chivalry, things like this won't happen.
You take all the words you want
Yeah,
and forget all
you
the
did
rest.
not just say that.
So say it again.
I said, if you treat people like you want for yourself,
For yourself.
Mm-hmm.
It's in the Bible.
take right out of the Bible,
Treat others.
Mm-hmm.
the way you want to be treated,
Mm-hmm.
then this won't happen.
And
Unless you
listen,
really want to hurt
And I
yourself.
don't want to go into what you talk about implicit bias, but
Yeah, that's about
you go into that
implicit
fear.
bias.
You understand that, and that's what that back door in people's minds are of, let's say, dealing with something that they really don't know, that they feel a certain way about. So just like you saying he wasn't an American, you feel a certain way about
And
that
I
man's
respect
patriotism.
Mhm.
I get that though,
Yeah.
but that don't make him not an American. That just lets me know how you feel that man acted out in representation of an American
And
Muslim.
and I respect your comment enough to even think about it and realize that there's a whole lot of yous out there. in the streets, in the common language,
in the
of
social
streets.
justice,
A whole lot of yous out there.
criminal justice.
That don't see this guy as
That's
being
human being.
American. They see just because he's a Muslim that he has to act like a Muslim and he's not an American. So this is just like he's feeling all this.
No.
because it's-
Or no, or I know what you mean. Or he's an American Muslim. He needs to walk this line, straight line, and he better not walk outside that
Or
line.
lock him up.
Yes. So you get that feeling
Just
of
like the Japanese.
That's
in Turkey.
that's totally not what I said.
no, not what you said, but that's just the perception. I'm just letting you know the big scale of
And not
things.
just you, I'm talking about a whole lot of people.
Because why
out
would
there.
another Muslim have to stand up and say, "Listen, this is not how we act"? You get that?
Right.
You would just respect that as, this is just one crazy dude. And I know he don't reflect everyone, but we need to start understanding these crazy dudes. And that's where we don't do. We just say, all right, we're going to kill him, we're going to shoot him, we're going to red flag him, we're going to lock him up. No. We need to...
And you're absolutely 100% correct about this country being one of the most violent countries on the face of the earth.
That's
We
correct.
dropped 2 atomic bombs on innocent people.
Mm-hmm.
The first one was a justification to end a war that was already ending because of Midway. Japanese were already destroyed. Well, this is going to make it go faster. The second one was just to see if it would do it again.
You knew it did the work.
Hiroshima and Nagasaki geographically were almost identical.
Mm-hmm.
So they dropped what was the first one? Little boy, I guess, and the other one was
Big
big
Boy.
boy or something like that, to see what the results
No, I
were.
think Big Boy was first, which
Yeah.
was the little one, and then the little boy came second, which was the biggest one.
And then they measured the results to see if they were the same. They did a blind survey.
What you call it? A test
experiment.
study. Something that they would do out in Arizona desert.
That's to me how violent this country really is, and we justify that with a hoorah. We are
Patriotism.
so tough and everything, but we are, that's not representative of the people in the United States of America. That's representative of the power structure.
Yes.
I agree.
Because if you go back to,
I agree.
If you go back to
Yeah.
that patriotism, that feeling of being an American, from my understanding, is always taking a high road. I heard Klay Thompson said it about the LeBron. It's about, all right, I understand your feelings, but me as an American, I know, that we have to be sympathetic, not empathetic. So I would take the high road. I would do the best thing in that situation, not the worst. You understand? So taking the low road is, I gotta let you know how I feel. Taking the high road is, forget letting me know how I feel. How do you feel about this? How can we come to a respect for each other and move on? Which I don't see it.
So-
You understand? So patriotism has taken a form of violence. Like, you have to act like this and do it this way, or just like you said, you're not an American, and we're going to treat you as such, whether you're in a group or individual. I can't look at you as a human being. I got to look at you as what I perceive you. And
Your character's just like Martin Luther. Your character's not involved with who you are, which is the craziest thing. People in this world judge Americans, and we judge other people by the nationality and the perception we have of that nationality. The people in Finland no more really know what the true Americans like than the people in America know what
What
the
the true
people in
Finland-
Finland love.
You know,
Right. So
there's no.
there was one really good point that you brought up, Troop, when you said that the government is not always a reflection of the people.
Exactly.
It just reminds me of Muhammad Ali, rest in peace, how he didn't want to go to fight for Vietnam. And he